Hi everybody, I'm Melissa. Welcome to CloudMom, talking carriers today. I have with me the Boba Stretchy Wrap. This is an amazing carrier, very flexible, very versatile for a young baby, and it's very reasonably priced at around $38. So I'm going to walk you guys through how to use this, and if you look at it, it's really just one enormous piece of fabric, and what's really nice about this carrier is the stretch factor. That gives a lot of versatility. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the middle part of my carrier and I'm going to bunch it up a little bit like this, and I'm going to place it around my middle, okay? Then I'm going to start to gather it around me, and I'm going to turn to my back so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to hold the outside of the fabric like this. I'm going to hold this part in place with this hand, and I'm going to string this around my shoulder, my first shoulder. This is how I'm going to get that nice cross mark, okay? So I string that part around like that. I'm still holding it in the front, and now I go with my other hand and I go around like this. I'm doing this from the back so you guys can see, and I string that around my other shoulder, and now I can sort of even it out a little bit. This is very, very comfortable, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to string these two pieces, and it stays in place nicely too. I'm going to even these out around my shoulders, and I'm going to string these through this cummerbund area. And all of this you're doing, guys, before your baby is, on site, okay? Because you can't really do this while holding a baby. So I string these two pieces down and through. It's amazing how long this is, but you will make use of it. And I stretch this down. So what you can do, you really want this to remain very, very tight. So when you want to keep tightening it, you can just sort of pull down here like this and then scrunch your shoulders forward a little bit and pull out the cummerbund, okay? And to the contrary, if you feel like you want to stretch it out a little bit, you can do this, I call it like the praying thing, where you go like this and that gives you a little more stretch. But I'm going to keep it on the tighter side right now. Now I'm going to cross this part of the fabric. I'm going to cross it again in the back, and I'm either going to tie here, or if I still have fabric, I'm coming back to the front, and I'm going to cross again and create a nice knot. And now I'm getting ready for my baby. Now, when you have your baby in the Boba Stretchy Wrap, even for a very young baby, you actually can have your legs out. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to take your baby, you're going to put him in one side of this cross, and you're going to stretch this fabric out around his knees to support him. And then you're going to put him under this part and stretch that out as well. And then the cummerbund is going to come on top of him. So I'm going to walk you guys through how to do that. So here's my little sunshine baby. We're getting to be very good friends. He really doesn't give me a lot of trouble. I don't know why people say babies are so hard. So anyway, holding my baby, and again with your newborn, you're going to be giving him a lot of upper back and neck support. I'm going to stretch this part of the carrier over him, and I'm going to make sure that his knee is getting support. The way people talk about this is knee to knee, and you really want to make sure the bum is underneath the knee. So this gets stretched over my baby like this, okay? And now I'm going to do this on the other side, making sure that he's getting enough support. I'm going to move his arms to the front. So this stretches over here, like that. Very, very easy to work with. Now I'm going to check and make sure I like the position. This is very important ergonomically. You want the baby in that nice, stretched, crouched position with the knees like this and the bum underneath, okay? Now my baby's well situated. I'm going to pull up the cummerbund like this. Make sure he's nicely nestled in there. And what a good thing to do is with a newborn is to give your baby a little bit of additional neck support. You can use a washcloth, something like that. I have a t-shirt here I'm going to use. So you can just roll that up like this and place it here inside the carrier, just to give your baby that little bit of additional neck support. So that is the Boba Stretchy Wrap. Very versatile, very inexpensive. If you guys have other things about this wrap that you like, or ways in which you use it, please comment on my video on cloudmom.com. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.